everyone, and welcome back to the Middle and High School Chorus Professional Learning Community on the Georgia Department of Education platform. This platform was created for educators to collect, collaborate, and support one another. Be sure to set up your notifications to your liking and check back to engage in discussion as often as you wish. Please share this platform with your colleagues so that we may continue to grow and share beneficial information specific to middle and high school choral education. The more colleagues active yields more opportunities for us to share and grow from one another. I'm Brandy Dent, and I will be your virtual PLC lead for middle and high school chorus. The webinar today's topic will be about teaching students to match pitch, teaching rhythm, as well as tips for field trip planning. In this webinar, you're going to get some amazing best practices from some choral educators all over Georgia. Thanks to Joy Dumas at Perry High School, Katie Holloway for Academy for Classical Education, Justin Miller at Lamar County High School Band and Chorus, Samuel Potts, Rona Robbins High School, Cynthia Richmond, Crisp County Middle School, happy retirement to you, and Misty Wilcox at Jones County High. We hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name is Justin Miller, and I'm the Band and Choral Programs Director at Lamar County High School. I've been asked by a fellow colleague to answer a few questions about some different teaching methods that I use in my programs.
Hi, I'm Joy Dumas. I am the choir director at Perry High School, and I have about 22 years experience teaching chorus at this point in my life.
Hello, my name is Samuel Potts, and I'm the chorus director at Warner Robins High School in Warner Robins, Georgia.
Hi, my name is Catherine Holloway, and I work for Georgia Academy for the Blind, state schools, and I teach K through 12.
Cynthia Richmond, middle school chorus.
The first topic I wanted to address is matching pitch. When I talk about matching pitch with my students, whether it's band or choir, the first thing I tell all students is that it is very important that they're able to hear the pitch before they try to play or sing the pitch. In choir, I use a lot of mimicking and call and response. And so I know one exercise that I use is using a ghost siren. And so I will ask the students to mock the things that I do. And so I will start really low in a controlled voice, and I'll make a low siren noise, and I'll go all the way high, and then I will bring it back down controlled, and I will ask the students to do the example that I just did. And then afterwards, after we do it about 2 or 3 times and the students get comfortable with using that falsetto voice, even though I don't mention that that's what they're using, they're used to using it. And then the second or third time, I will stop on a certain note, whether it's a high note or a mid-range note, or a low note. And I will ask them to begin the siren low, and then wherever I stop, that is where I want them to stop. And so most students are able to grasp the concept of stopping on the pitch that I ask them to stop on. And so I then celebrate them and encourage them to know that even if they're using their chest or their falsetto voice or their head voice, that they are able to access different pitches. They just have to be well aware, and they have to be able to hear the pitch before they're able to sing the pitch or play it. And so that's just one strategy and one concept that I use with my students that I've known to work for a few years in my program.
Cynthia Richmond, middle school chorus. For matching pitch, I start very early with my 6th graders from the earliest day I have them, and I work first on just really high and low pitch difference using the syllable do. Then I move hand into that, hand motion. And after they're matching with high and low, I go to more specific intervals. I tend to use numbers instead of solfege just because of the clientele I teach. And I know they can catch on to numbers faster than solfege. I will keep this pitch matching up for quite a while. Then, of course, the hand moves in there with it to realize the difference between high and low and moving up and down. And then I show them what the pitches look like on the page so they can begin to read it. Throughout 6th grade, it's a daily regimen of matching pitch. If any of my students are struggling, I'll have them cup their hand over their right ear and kind of bend their ear in to hear better. If they're still working hard, sometimes I can give them a PVC pipe in the shape of kind of a C to put to their ear and to hear themselves better. With my middle school boys, especially my my sixth grade boys, I have them singing where the girls are. I think that's very important, even if they have a change voice already by sixth grade, to work on that higher falsetto voice. And from seventh grade on, I make sure that my boys are singing falsetto every day, or at least attempting it. If they struggle with matching pitch, especially if they've moved into chorus after sixth grade, after their voice has changed, lots of times I'll have the other boys sing for them, or my other boys explain to them where they feel their different ranges in their body to help the new boys figure that out. And with my seventh and eighth graders, I continue at least once, maybe twice a week with echo singing with pitch matching.
My top tip for helping students who have trouble matching pitch is to do a whole lot of vocal exercises that require them to stretch the muscles that control their voice. Think siren exercises, glissandos, things like that. And the other trick that I use for those students is that I always make sure that they are standing or seated next to a very strong singer who matches pitch well. And usually I'll pull each of them aside and have a separate conversation with them. The kid who doesn't match pitch usually knows they don't match pitch and they appreciate the help. And the strong singer usually appreciates being asked to be a leader in this way, and is usually very, very kind. I've never had one not be kind about helping that student. And so that's what I do to help kids match pitch. It's a slow process. It will usually take the whole school year, but by the end of the year, they will be greatly improved.
Some strategies I use for matching pitch. Most of our students are visually impaired, legally blind, or fully blind. So most of them have perfect pitch or have relative pitch, and some, actually, surprisingly enough, do not. For some of my little kids, we start with little songs. I try and get it so it's close to their talking range. And then we work from there for using do, re, mi, using fun little kid songs so they can get used to it. Lots of listening. That's the big key. Having them listen and even enjoying what they are wanting to sing. The more they enjoy, the more they're going to want to work for you.
Today, I'll be sharing several techniques that I use in helping students learn how to match pitch. Often we have students who will sing their part an octave too low in the music, and it's always typically a struggle to help these students find that correct octave due to ear issues that they might have. But I think one of the best overall strategies and important things to remember in helping these students is to meet the students where they're at and help them grow from there. One quick thing is that I always like to use my voice rather than playing a note on the piano and then asking them to meet that note. Typically, I found students to be more successful when you sing a note and they try to match that rather than the piano. So yes, meeting students where they're at. Whatever note that they're singing, I'll have them start doing some sirens off of that note if they can, as much as they can. And each time they do a siren, I'll ask them to increase the leap a bit more each time. So, ooh, and so forth. And then I'll try to ask them to make sure they notice that they are making a difference, hopefully, and ask them how are they doing that? How are they able to make that perceptive change each time? Do they notice they're making that change each time? And this sometimes takes a long time. Sometimes they don't realize they're doing it at all, that they're making a difference. But over time, they hopefully will, and hopefully are able to then at least do a complete octave by the time after you work with the student one-on-one for, every student's different, but worked one-on-one with them for quite a while. And another strategy I like to do is, again, meet them where they're at. So have them sing a note, ooh, or whatever note they might sing. And then I will also match pitch with them to where the two notes are unison. And then they keep singing, they'll keep singing the same note, and I'll move a half step or a whole step apart. And then ask them, can they hear a difference between the unison notes versus the notes where there's some, there's the tension, there's the dissonance there. And a lot of times they realize, oh yeah, it doesn't feel quite right. It doesn't have that same feeling when there's the dissonance. And then I start to explain that, you know, matching pitch is kind of like putting together a puzzle, that the pieces have to fit together perfectly. And you really can feel it. You really can, you know, see it when they do match, versus when, you know, you try to put two pieces that don't fit quite well together. They tend to notice that, and so they tend to have to start being more perceptive about what they're singing and how they're producing the notes. So these are just a few strategies that I use with these sorts of students, but I hope they are able to help you in some way. Thanks very much.
For children who have trouble matching pitch, I like to start with melodic songs where everyone sings unison. Seben crudele, caro mio ben, alma del core, or even just a simple Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, to get them singing in unison together. And then we work on tone quality and some diction and embouchure issues, so that they're singing in a clear, bright, healthy sound first. If they have trouble matching with the melody for everybody, sometimes we'll do exercises in which you kind of zig and zag up and down around the pitch, and then I play the pitch and they try to find the pitch and hold the pitch. If you have a whole class doing this together, it helps the individual not feel singled out, and that exercise can really give them some skills in trying to find the pitch on a regular basis.
This video could not have been made possible without the help of choral educators like you and mine. I want to give a special thanks to Joy Dumas, Catherine Holloway, Justin Miller, Samuel Potts, Cynthia Richmond, Misty Wilcox, and all of the choral educators for all of your input. We really appreciate you.